The biggest changes in the history of the United States for America, guys. We got this big, beautiful bill passed, the biggest win in American history carried out by President Donald Trump, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, Mike Johnson, guys, true MAGA people. We've got the full breakdown, the details, how it's going to affect you guys. If you're a regular worker, if you get food stamps, if you're Medicaid, Social Security, guys, across the board, so much is changing. This is one of the most pivotal, consequential bills that has ever been passed in the history of America, because not only is it putting more money back into Americans' pockets, but it is actually going to hold people accountable like never before, guys. This is, I'm telling you, the show today, biggest bombshell news, breaking news for you on what the heck is going on, because now everything's officially done. We've got the full details for you guys. This is big. Huge wins across the board, up to $12,000 increase for those on Social Security, guys. This is an immediate increase that you will see per month. An additional $2,000 for regular workers that you will immediately see every single month, guys. Increase in the child tax credit. And it's amazing. There's even more, guys. Beautiful. It increases the border security by $75 billion. Money for the Golden Dome over America. It adds legislation that no single rogue judge can use federal funds to bring lawsuits against Trump. Can you believe this, guys? That our taxpayer funds were being used to bring lawsuits against the president that we voted for. Well, guess what? It's out of here, baby. No more. They cannot use federal funds to fund their frivolous lawsuits against the president. And even more, guys, it also, let me know your thoughts in the comments, because this is big, big stuff. This is helping to lead a successful, all the success that we're going to see in the American economy is coming from this. There is the hugest, if you're in a blue state, you're probably going to love this, guys, because the state and local tax deduction cap, the SALT tax has been raised to $40,000. Thank President Trump for that. A lot of people in red states don't like it, but guess what? It's there. There's new funds, guys. This is a big one. This is right here, guys, going to just completely change everything moving forward. New funds being allocated to the FBI, to the DOJ to go after the Biden administration, the Obama administration for the Russian collusion hoax, the 2020 election interference, the Fauci COVID-19 cover-up, holding them all accountable, bringing lawsuits against multiple people in previous administrations for the border issues. So not only are Americans about to see their paychecks get bigger, not only are we about to bring so much security to the United States, but we're actually allocating so much more money to bring new investigations, hire more people to go after and hold the previous crazy Democratic administrations accountable for all the lies that they carried out throughout Trump's presidencies, guys. This is big. And I'm telling you, it doesn't stop there, guys. The winning is so massive. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Trump's DOJ has launched a nationwide election integrity probe. For years, Americans were silenced for questioning the 2020 election. Now, under the DOJ, officials have sent formal letters to election offices across the country investigating voting machines, cybersecurity protocols, access to voter rolls. Criminal charges for negligent officials are on the table, baby. He's going after everybody. Rogue judges. All the line. We knew there was cheating in all the dang elections, and now the DOJ has fully launched the nationwide election integrity. Why? Because they got more money from the big, beautiful bill. They also, guys, this is beautiful, not holding anything back. Trump's signature is also going to close $1 billion in taxpayer dollars used for Planned Parenthood. Nearly 200 facilities are going to close. And the CEO says that this could be existential to this. And this is the thing, guys. We have a lot of taxpayer dollars that, whether you agree with it or not, should not be used on a lot of things. But Trump says we're going to give it back to the people. If the people want it, they will go do it. We got to make the government smaller. And that's what's happening, guys. So much breaking news today. I want to say thank you to everybody who is watching, to all of our subscribers and viewers. If you're not subscribed, please consider joining our family, hitting that subscribe button, because we got some big news, big shows for you today, guys. Want to say thank you to everybody that has given a super chat donation, to all of our members of the channel. Show some love, guys, to Elaine Demeen and Wendy Litton. Guys, I love it. The giving is growing. America is winning. Our bills are getting passed. Trump's agenda, his policies, his legacy is being forever stamped as one of the greatest presidents ever, because what is happening? And if you don't mind, guys, doing us a huge favor of hitting that thumbs up like button. We got a huge show today, guys. Biggest thing is that we're bringing thousands of dollars immediately that are going to be hitting people's pockets each month. And we're not talking about just 20 bucks, guys. We're talking about 12,000 for those, up to 12,000 for those on Social Security, $2,000 for regular workers, the no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, guys. This is real money that is going to be put back into the economy. People are going to be able to move forward, and that's just the beginning, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. We got a big show for you today. Check this out.
You know, I'm starting to think that the experts might not know what the hell they're talking about. In light of this big, beautiful bill passing, real people are really excited about at least economic certainty, okay? I don't agree with everything that was in this bill. I think a lot of good stuff got stripped out of it, but it does do a lot of good stuff. Spends a lot of money too, but we got tax cuts, we got work requirements for Medicaid. I've been waiting for that for a while. Zeroed out the tax for the NFA, didn't take it away, but it zeroed out the tax. Massive funding for border walls and things like that. Bunch of provisions for better, for worse. Like it's on the better side, okay? At least it gives the economy the ability to project how it's going to affect their industry. And I'm going to get to the nuts and bolts of this in just a minute, but the businesses have all been navigating against all these experts, okay, versus Trump's proven track record for the last 5 months and 4 years ago. The same experts that seem to get it wrong every month since Trump's been elected.
You expected some of this, but this is better than expected?
Yeah, Sarah, it is. Look, this jobs market is like the Energizer Bunny. Every single time we expect it to run out of steam, it just keeps going and going.
And this is good news, much better than expected. An upside surprise on headline payrolls, 147, the estimate 106. The unemployment rate was at 4.2. In our survey, economists were looking for that to climb up to 4.3. It comes in at 4.1.
The jobs report that, as we told you at the top of the hour, of course, was better than expected. 147,000 jobs were added.
It was a better than expected report. First of all, 147,000 jobs added, better than expected.
Holding on to the gains of the better than expected jobs report.
Guys, do you not love this, guys? People don't get it. That Trump has been working, that while Biden was president, or so-called president, Trump was working behind the scenes. He was building out the playbook, guys. This is so monumental. And guess what? Trump is not just winning for America. He's listening to Americans, guys. Look at this poll from CBS. New national program to deport all undocumented immigrants. 62% voted yes. Guys, for registered voters. David Meyer, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Guys, this is 2/3 of the United States say that we need to deport all undocumented immigrants. Guys, Trump is listening to we, the people. The experts are getting paid off to say whatever they say. But every time Trump makes a move, what are they saying? Better than expected. Oh my goodness, we didn't see this coming. It just keeps coming. The winning keeps coming. Let's go.
Every single time they have to come on air and be, surprised that Trump keeps doing what he said he was going to do. I said this months ago. They didn't realize that Trump's, like I said, actually kind of good at this stuff, and he's good at making deals, and things will probably be fine in the end. Again, most people on Main Street were like, yeah, man, let Trump cook. He'll probably get the job done. Let the man cook. I bet you'll like the meal, even if you don't like his methods. Yeah, I've been saying it for months, actually years. Let him cook, because he's been right more than the experts. ADP, someone who the markets, the government, and even the CBO, and I'll get to those guys in a minute, but the ADP was off by the largest margin in job predictions in 3 years. These guys were off by like over 200,000. okay?
Guys, if you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, guys, thank you so much. I just love it. Not only were they wrong about the polls back in 2016 saying that Hillary Clinton was going to win by like 91% or 93%, they're wrong about the economy. They're wrong about the tariffs. They're wrong about what Trump's doing. America is winning, baby. These so-called experts are just completely wrong because they've never run a business except for Trump.
These guys are supposed to be the experts. But I seem to remember that they also had to adjust 13 out of 15 payrolls downward under Biden because they're partisan hacks. They inflated Joe Biden's job market as much as possible. So you'd get the headline of something being great. Oh, Joe Biden's labor market may be too hot to handle. Yeah, okay, Politico. And then you turn around and like a month and a half later, they quietly revise it down. And then this is the headline. U.S. added 818,000 fewer jobs than previously thought from March 23 to March 24. Wow. That not only was that Political article from last month actually completely false, but nearly all of the year leading up to that was also false because they had to revise the job created numbers down by almost 1 million. It begs the question, was it on purpose? I mean, I hope so, because these people are absolutely ridiculous otherwise. They just did it to politically help Biden. I mean, just
guys, and remember, all the jobs, most of the jobs that Biden brought in were government jobs. So it wasn't even from the private sector. It was, let's raise spending on the taxpayers. Let's continue spending more and create these government jobs because that's how we're going to grow the economy, which is not actually growing the economy. And what I love is that we are showing everybody, guys, the truth. The experts were wrong. The Democrats don't know what the crap they're doing when it comes to the economy, and America is winning. The big, beautiful bill is passed, and so much is coming back to the average American worker.
Quick peruse of the Federal Election Commission data shows that ADP officials, who are supposed to be nonpartisan, donated $53,000 in total to Kamala Harris and only $16,000 and change to Donald Trump. And while we couldn't find any donations from ADP's chief economist, Nella Richardson, she was the ESG officer too, and has a BA in physiology, or it doesn't sound too conservative to me, considering ESG is a green scam and there's not a lot of Republican philosophizers from my experience. This lady's responsible for these predictions. But just as like we said with Moody's a while back, who rates the United States credit, some independent agency that borrowers and even other countries take into account when they consider the United States of America, turns out they hate Trump too, just like the CBO. These guys have never donated a single dollar to a Republican. You can't say that that they're great and they're down the middle and everything like that because they donate to Democrats. You want to know how wrong they are? The CBO initially scored the Inflation Reduction Act as a net deficit reduction measure by $238 billion in 2022. And then, fast forward 2 years in 2024, they were forced to revise that, saying that, and while some recent legislation has reduced the deficit, the Inflation Reduction Act is proving to be more expensive than originally promised. You think? Later estimates saying it added as much as $870 billion to the deficit, and kicking up inflation, of course, to over 9% at one point.
Guys, and what's crazy is that when it comes to CBO, guys, see, we bring you the full context, the full facts. When it comes to the CBO, 100% in the past 20 years of donations from the people working at the CBO have been to Democrats. So the people that are actually trying to tell Congress how things are supposed to be, trying to tell the world, tell the stock markets how things are supposed to be, are 100% Democrat. Why do you think they always undercut Trump? And yet, whenever it came to Biden, they tried to make it look good when it was actually horrible for the American economy, guys. This is the truth that nobody gets to see, but we are showing it, guys. When it comes to these Democratic-run institutions that are funded by our taxpayer dollars, this is something we got to clean up. Lay Lewis, thank you so much for gifting 5 TrueLife News memberships. Let's go. Y'all show Lay some love in the chat for gifting 5 TrueLife News memberships. I love it.
In the article, they noted that the Inflation Reduction Act big picture looks grim. Both spending and revenue are projected to be elevated above historic levels. No way! The experts told us printing $7 trillion would make inflation go down. I mean, who could have possibly seen that coming? Oh, right. Anyone with an IQ over 40, which apparently there isn't at the CBO. I don't know why we still listen to these people. They get it wrong more than weathermen. And yet they're still the gold standard in predicting these things. And whenever, they're always wrong. And then when they are, everybody is like surprised by it, except for Jim Cramer, because he's wrong too. Can we just agree to tune these people out? I mean, honestly, CNN or Bloomberg or whoever else just loves to trash Trump. Like, what do you have to lose by being optimistic about this? That's what I really don't understand here. You guys have been wrong about darn near everything. And can you think for 1 second, maybe using like an alternative metric to make your predictions? This is why I don't trust the government for anything. I mean, you can go back in time, like pick something. We'll go back to the 50s. The government told us that smoking didn't cause cancer. Well, turns out it does. They told us that Agent Orange isn't harmful to the troops. And right after Vietnam, when all the soldiers started dying with the same symptoms, oh, oops, that turned out to be the lie of the century, and it got a bunch of people killed. Hey, we got to go kill 3,000 plus Americans in a multi-trillion-dollar war to seize weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. I mean, just real quick, how many weapons of mass destruction do we find over there? Oh, right, none. Trust me, I was over there looking for them. Y2K, same experts predicting the job numbers that they told us. They knew that when we rolled over from the 1900s to the 2000s, that the entire financial system couldn't carry the 2 digits to the 4 digits, and the entire financial system would come crashing down. Companies spent like billions of dollars to update these systems. And you know what happened? Even to the ones that weren't updated?
Nothing.
Guys,
I'm telling you guys, we bring the receipts right here. This is so huge what we're showing you. Trump's DOJ has launched, now that we've got more money, now that we have just so much room, guys, to go after all the corruption. Trump's DOJ launches nationwide election integrity probe. DOJ officials have sent formal inquiries to election offices across the country investigating voting machines, cybersecurity protocols, and access to voter rolls. Criminal charges for negligent officials are on the table, guys. All this is coming out. This is some of the biggest stuff that is about to change America forever. This is what's going to make sure that we get a red wave. They're also working on redrawing the districts, removing non-citizens from the Census Bureau. Trump has been working on this, guys. I'm telling you, this all makes so much sense. For the past 4 years, we need to do this and this and this and this. And when we get into office, pass the bill by this time. Make sure the voting is election integrity is there. Make sure that we remove non-citizens, close the border, do this, do that. And that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing so much happening, guys. This is huge. This is from Lindell TV, guys, that the DOJ is going after the most vulnerable parts on making sure that America stays safe. Make sure that we have our elections stay safe, and it's just the beginning. Because the more that we dig into this, guys, the more that we're starting to see these dang Democrats are losing it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
This is what would happen to San Francisco Bay.
The world is going to end in 12 years if we don't address climate change.
Oh, the world is over. Hey, look, did the sea levels rise? Did the world end? Is the ozone vanishing and turning us into like some radiating burnt wasteland like Mars? No. Greta Thunberg also got it wrong. Said in a now deleted tweet from 2018, well, climate change will wipe all out humanity unless we stop using fossil fuels over the next 5 years. Weird, right? The same experts saying that Biden's economy would save us all and what Trump is doing was somehow bad are the same fools that said in 2007, oh, sure, yeah, we can loan unlimited money to subprime borrowers without the income to actually pay their own mortgage that we're giving them. Oh, the system's too big to fail. And then it did. I mean, we could do this all day. The same people that brought us through COVID-19 that said masks don't work, ivermectin that people have been taking for decades. And they told us that didn't work, even though it was, they even told us it was a horse dewormer or something. Okay, they told us that the vaccine stopped the spread and it was safe. I mean, that you couldn't get 6 feet, you couldn't get COVID 6 feet away from each other. That it was only going to be 14 days to flatten the curve. And what was the reality? I mean, what was the reality there? 14 days became almost 3 years, and they started arresting people for paddleboarding alone in the middle of the ocean without a mask on while grandma died by herself. 6 feet of distancing apparently didn't do butt kiss, but the vax they told us that was safe now has to have a warning label on it for a heart condition that killed over 1,500 athletes in the last 3 years, more than the last 60 years prior combined, by the way. They told you ivermectin, turns out that does work and masks don't. So if you
guys, we are bringing the truth. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, guys, because again, the experts were wrong. Trump is right. The no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, largest tax cut in American history, largest tax cut for seniors in American history, guys. Especially those on Social Security, up to $12,000 immediately put into the pockets of those on Social Security. Funds hiring 10,000 new ICE officers, guys. There was 2 people that voted nay. Look, this is the actual vote count. 2 people voted nay that were Republican. Their names are Thomas Massie and Brian Fitzpatrick from Pennsylvania. These 2 people are now, Trump wants to primary them. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do they need to be primaried? Elon Musk says that he's going to defend Thomas Massie. Trump says he wants him gone. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Sandra Mario Enzi, let's go. Thank you so much for the super chat. I love it. Said, love seeing it all fall into place. Praise Jesus. Y'all show Sandra some love in the chat, guys. Member of the channel, as well as Gregosaurus Galoris. I love it. Let's go. Said, MAGA win, win, win. Deep state evil being removed. Praise God. Handcuffs coming in the fall. Guys, it's all coming. And what I love is that Trump has such a dream team around him, guys. What you're about to hear next is one of the closest persons to Trump over all the things that are about to happen, and it's beautiful. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Yeah, Secretary of Treasury Scott Bessent with us. Mr. Secretary, I think it was about a year ago, April, May of 2024, you made the statement here on the show that, hey, I think this is the last chance we'll ever have, the country will ever have, to have a supply side solution to the economic and financial problems of the country. My belief is that's gotten kind of lost here in the last couple of days as the Senate dealt with this bill and now the House deals with this bill. You have all this discussion about structural changes in the out years and CBO. I think people have lost the plot. This is about growth. It was always about growth, and about growth that grows faster than the deficits, faster than debt, and gets you on the plan to go from 6% deficit to GDP down to 3%. Can you just step back for a second and walk us through what the overall economic and financial plan that is embodied, manifested in this piece of legislation that we're trying to get pushed over the goal line either late tonight or tomorrow, sir?
Steve, good to see you, and it's good to be on because the War Room audience is my favorite audience, so I miss being on. And you hit the nail on the head. This is a growth agenda. As I said last year, I was really worried that the economy, the Democrats were tying the economy down. It was kind of like Gulliver and the Lilliputians. And the more they did, the more they regulated, we were never going to be able to grow our way out of this. And, I'm going to focus on tax. But as I've said before, President Trump's economic agenda is a 3-legged stool. So trade, tax, and deregulation. And on Friday, I think we made great progress in the House today. And I've got to say, these Freedom Caucus congressmen and a couple of senators have reset the center of gravity in terms of the spending.
Yes.
They're holding people's feet to the fire. And, I think that we are going to have economic growth like we haven't seen before. And here, this bill has something for everybody. But one of the main parts is the 2017 Tax Cuts and Job Act that was 100% expensing of capital goods. So we've added 100% expensing for factories and agricultural structures So we're going to have this boom in the country that it could be growth like we haven't seen since post-World War II, since the 1890s, at least back to the 1990s. And we are making the U.S. the best destination for capital. You're going to have tax certainty because we're never going to have to listen to this twaddle again that these are the biggest tax cuts in history, because it's going to become the baseline. They are permanent. And the power of this permanence and giving people certainty, I think, is going to drive a lot of growth. So we're going to have tax certainty, cheap energy, and we are going to deregulate and make it possible for long-term projects for private sector and the public sector to do what we should be doing in terms of our long-term electricity needs, our fossil fuel needs, for businesses to be able to have great certainty and make long-term investments.
Guys, it is so beautiful, but I got to show you because some of that money is going to this on the screen. Homeland Security put it out, a free ticket home. $1,000 to self-deport. Non-criminal illegal aliens can access travel assistance on their own terms to avoid arrest and earn a stipend for returning home. There is no excuse not to self-deport, guys. This is now available in English, Spanish, Haitian, Creole, Simplified Chinese, and Hindi. This is cleaning out America and being even nice about it, guys. And this is the part that they don't show on the mainstream media much, especially on left wing, that it's like, look, you didn't come into the country legally. You bypassed and overstepped how many millions of people that were trying to do it the right way. Well, there's money in the big, beautiful bill to continue this, to make sure that, hey, we're going to clean out America. Biden let in over 20 million illegal aliens. Trump is going to do it as best as he can to clean out America and say, we know who's in it in the United States and who's not, and who comes in. 0 people till we clean up the immigration issue. Let me know your thoughts on that, because that's a big deal that the Democrats hate right now, is that there's nobody coming in for any reason because Trump says we have to clean out America. Stacy Jennings, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Said, now we are truly free. God bless Trump and America. Happy Independence Day. I love it, guys. Show Stacy some love in the chat. Thank you so much. Great. Tijuana Border Jumper said primary all, but a few diehards just to send a message loud and clear. And thank you so much, Lisa Young, for the super chat, guys. Y'all are so awesome. Show Stacy some love in the chat. Tijuana Border Jumper and Lisa, guys, some love in the chat. This is a big, big day, guys, because yes, it's Independence Day, but things are in motion right now. Things are moving so fast. I'm about to show you some more stuff. Trump is not playing around because we have a strict timeline. There's only so many days that we have to make this come alive. Listen to this.
You make a good point that I think's lost on people. I want to go through it right now, that if you look at Biden with the massive spending they had and the huge deficits, the real economy, if you took out the federal spending, the economy was in a recession and had been in a recession. One of the things you said you and President Trump were focused on doing was reprivatizing the American economy. Can you explain that to folks, what that means?
Yeah, it means the pulling down, exactly as you just said, pulling down this government spending and letting the private sector take over. The private sector got crowded out, and I was on Friday, I was with the Senate Republicans at lunch, and one of the senators said, I used to be in the luxury car business, and I'll tell you that my biggest clients were the people who were feeding off the IRA and the Green New Deal, and they would come into my showrooms and they were buying Porsches, Maseratis, Rolls Royces, and they were laughing at everybody in Congress and how much money they had taken. So these subsidies, and these are just stranded assets that are going nowhere. One of the biggest difference, as I said, I had very good conversations with the Freedom Caucus members yesterday. I'm sure that they are going to get to yes on behalf of the president, on behalf of the American people. But I told them, one of the biggest changes between the House and the Senate was the House, when the bill left the House, full expensing for factory equipment, farm equipment, any business equipment was only for 5 years. The Senate made it permanent. So that was probably another $400 billion scoring over the 10-year window. And I said, guys, you know what? If this were some dead-end government spending program, I would be the first to raise my hand. This is sound economics. So I believe that we are going to see business resurgence. President Trump has talked about the trillions of dollars that want to come in from overseas. I have been out on the road. I've been meeting with business leaders, and they've all been waiting to start their CapEx until they have the certainty that they're going to know here. So I think this could be a private sector boom like we haven't seen in years.
Guys, so awesome, guys. And I just have to show you this because the American spirit is winning, guys. The American spirit, if you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, guys, thank you so much, guys. This is winning at the next level. The polls show it. People are 100% on board of what Trump is doing in America. Guys, look at these polls. And what I love is that it's always, we show you from everywhere, guys. We want a full context. We want to show you a full show. We don't just report out of one news outlet. We show you everything so that you can see a consensus that people are aligned with Trump's policies. Listen to this.
Erica, my friend, happy 4th of July. And today on our Independence Day, I'm looking into whether or not Americans feel proud to be an American. And as it turns out, Democrats, their percentage...
Guys, before you see this, if you're proud to be an American, show some love in the chat. Put MAGA, put an American flag, guys. Show your love in the chat. Proud to be, live in the greatest country of the world. We live under the greatest president in our generation, guys, that we've ever seen. We are seeing things happen. Show some love in the chat if you are proud to be a citizen of the United States of America.
Who say they're proud to be an American has fallen through the floor. What are we talking about? Take a look here. Democrats' pride to be an American, extremely or very proud. In 2015, look at this. 4 out of 5 Democrats were extremely or very proud to be an American. That number has plummeted to just 36% now in 2025. A low this century has fallen by more than half since 2015 as Donald Trump has become, of course, president once again this year. Now, what is driving that decline? Well, a lot of it has to do with age. What are we talking about? Well, Generation Z Democrats, proud to be an American or not. Of course, Generation Z, born since 1997. Look at this. Only 24% of Generation Z Democrats are extremely or very proud to be an American. That is actually lower, Erica. That is lower than the percentage who say they have little or no pride to be an American at 32%. I just never thought I'd see these numbers based upon where we were a decade ago, but that's exactly where we are. Now, if Democrats have extremely less pride to be an American than they used to, what about Republicans? Well, this is where the trend line gets interesting, because with Republicans, there is no trend line. In fact, take a look here. Republicans' pride to be an American, extremely or very proud. In 2015, it was 90% back when Barack Obama was serving his second term. Now in Donald Trump's second term, 92. It's basically the same percentage, 92%. So Republicans still are extremely or very proud to be an American. Democrats, on the other hand, have seen their numbers fall through the floor, led, of course, by the youngest generation, Generation Z. We'll see how these numbers turn going forward, but the bottom line is whether or not the folks out there are extremely or very proud to be an American. I'm extremely or very proud to be with you, Erica Hill.
Guys, I'm proud to be an American. Want to say I'm so thankful and grateful because only in this great country, guys, can we see a turnaround like what we had last year versus what's going on this year, where Trump is literally changing the game across the board. Doge, Elon Musk, the freedom to go and expose all this stuff, the DOJ, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, guys. Everybody is making such monumental changes. April Green, thank you so much for the super chat. OG of the channel. Win, win, win. I get excited and I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control and I think I like it. Oh yeah, I love it. Crypto King Freddy, thank you so much. Said this bill will change the pendulum of the government to become more conservative. We will have an economic boom once the factories get built. Wubba lubba dub. Let's go. Andy, thank you so much for the super chat. He said the funding for the abortions are superb for 1 year only in the big beautiful bill. Thank you so much, brother. What's new? Thank you for giving 10 TrueLife News memberships. If you got a free membership from What's New, show some love in the chat. Thank you so much for helping to grow our family here at TrueLife News, guys. As you see it on the screen, we are in the 92%. We are proud to be in America. Mr. Burns, welcome to the family, guys. We are seeing it. We're living it out. And this is big, big stuff because more and more is coming, baby. Listen to this.
That's what it was structured for. You've got full spectrum energy dominance to lower energy costs. You've got the changing in commercial relationships internationally with the tariffs or trade deals. Either we'll reshore the factories here and get the tax revenue from production here and from incomes here, or we'll get the $300 to $400 billion that even CBO is forecasting you'll get over and above that on tariffs. You have massive deregulation, deconstruction of the administrative state. All of it comes together in one package. And here's the thing I like. President Trump already has a track record of hitting 2.8%. That was the average over his first 3 years before the bioweapon from China hit us. But people forget the fourth quarter of 2019 was 3.4%. He had hit surge, he had hit the surge, he'd hit the inflection point. Is that the type of thing that you're anticipating here where you get all these things coming together? And it's going to take a while, obviously, to pull it together, but you see that we could get growth north of 3% again, because if the United States doesn't get the 3% growth, the project itself doesn't overall work, correct?
It doesn't, but I am confident that we can. And Steve, I know you want to focus on the one big beautiful bill today, but I will say one of the things that President Trump has done with this trade agenda that no one has noticed yet, and it's going to become very obvious, we're going to start talking about it, for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, the trade negotiators were willing to sacrifice the manufacturing base. We want, as your friend Larry Fink said, in a good quote, capitalism without guardrails. We want capitalism without guardrails. We'll lose our manufacturing sector. We will not have any tariffs, but in return, we will sell you ag. So there was this false choice between manufacturing and ag, and the trade deals now, because President Trump was very aggressive with the Liberation Day tariffs, we are getting a tariff wall up that is going to help our manufacturing sector.
Yes.
And part of our trade negotiations is selling them ag. So it is possible. President Trump has shown, and we are going to reap the benefits, that we're going to get both. We're going to have a revitalized precision manufacturing sector with good, high-paying jobs that allow families to save for the future, own homes, and the agricultural sector is going to do great. With the announcement of the Vietnam deal today, corn, soybeans are up 2 or 3%. So what had happened in the past is over, and both sectors are going to do well.
The capital markets right now are looking at this and are responding. Equity markets, S&P 500, reaching all-time highs. The bond market looks like they're accepting this. In fact, maybe even welcoming this. 10-year treasuries are down. Credit spreads are tight. It looks like we're going to go to Brazil here next with Philip Patrick, but you've a little bit chop blocked the global south and their efforts to get off the dollar. Do you agree with that? The capital markets are receiving the more they understand about the big beautiful bill. They like what they see.
Steve, 35 years in the markets live in the future, and occasionally markets panic. But we had this huge panic right after Liberation Day, up from say April 2nd to April 9th. After that, we had the fastest recovery in stock market history for a 15% drawdown. I believe it was 54 days. We'd never seen that before because a bunch of folks in New York who didn't like tariffs panicked. The market now sees through this and sees how good this is going to be for the economy. The one big beautiful bill is going to power us, and back to your point, not only did we have, by the fourth quarter of 19, did we have the high growth level, it was non-inflationary growth. So the inflation level for President Trump's first term was around 2%, right at the Federal Reserve target, and we're on our way back there.
Guys, it's so beautiful, guys. Just things are coming out, guys. I love it. The news outlets are coming out and saying, are you tired of winning yet, guys? This is what we voted for. Look at this, baby. Are you tired? This is from the New York Post. Tired of winning yet? Trump caps the 2-week victory streak with the big, beautiful triumph. Win, win, win for the American people, guys. Let me show you this, because this is the stuff that I want to remind you of what actually happened. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, taxpayers paid $451 billion to bring in and take care of 20 million illegals under Biden in 4 years. The big beautiful bill gives $75 billion to ICE to deport 1 million per year. We're paying $500 billion for Democrats' border invasion, and not one Democrat has gone to prison. This is the type of stuff, guys, that we call out. Because it happened, we want to continue the winning, and what's going to happen next is accountability. Because the DOJ, the FBI, guys, are getting more money to go after all these corrupt people from the past, Obama administration, the Biden administration, that ripped off Americans, that tried to put Trump in jail for nothing, and we're finally getting the winning that America deserves from a president that is truly the most patriotic president we've ever had, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Lisa Young, thank you so much. Oh, and I got something else to show you too that's going to solidify this. Lisa Young, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Lily Ignacio, thank you so much. Said promises made, promises kept. Winning all the time. Lay Lewis, thank you so much for the super chat. Said I just have to say that President Trump has worked more than any other president in our history, and he's doing it on his own private dime. Right, because President Trump has not even taken a paycheck for being president, which normally is $400,000 a year. He said no. I don't need a paycheck. We're $37 trillion in debt. Put it back into the revenue. That is a true president. Deborah Jacobs, welcome to the family. Thank you so much, Lisa Young, for the super chat. And thank you so much, Luki. I used to say this wrong, and I know I'm going to say it wrong again. I'm so sorry. You'll have to spell it out for me. But Lukika YN1 said, retired Navy veteran here. Thank you so much for your service. Patriotic as all get out. I've always been about justice for all. God bless America. God bless every American patriot. Let's go. Yaso, and I want to say it's Iukika. YN1, some love in the chat. Stacy Jennings for gifting 10 TrueLife News memberships. Guys, if you got a free membership from Stacy, show her some love in the chat, guys. Big day today, guys. Independence Day. We are winning. We're growing the TrueLife News family, guys. And what you're about to hear next is just the next step in us continuing to grow and win for America. Listen to this.
Very excited. I'm introducing a new bill called Making American Elections Great Again Act. And what this bill will do is call for a new census that counts for only American citizens. It does not count non-citizens living in the United States of America. The second step, would call for the states to redraw their district lines, so reapportionment. And that would be based on the census count of American citizens only. So that would drastically change, some House districts would be drastically changed. Some may not change that much, but this is important because the United States House of Representatives needs to only represent American citizens and American citizens' interests and American taxpayers. The third step is this law, once made law, would only allow American citizens and would require proof of citizenship to vote in all federal elections. And this is something extremely important because Democrats definitely want non-citizens to vote. They've already tried to do it in Washington, D.C. They allow it to be done in San Francisco in their local elections. They tried to do it in New York. So this is going to be an ongoing problem in the future with Democrats trying to get non-citizens to be allowed to vote in all elections across America. So this is incredibly important, and I'm very grateful to President Trump, who is supporting my bill, and I look forward to working with House leadership and getting it passed. Yes, based on the new census counting American citizens only, it would direct states to reapportion and draw House district lines based on that count of American citizens only. Yes, it would impact presidential elections and electoral college votes based on the census of American citizens only. Yes, the reporter was talking about my bill. And I spoke with President Trump on the phone about this. And so he is definitely supporting my bill. And when the reporter asked President Trump, he talked about it and said he is supporting it. And then Governor DeSantis of Florida chimed in and also supported it. The bill is being drafted right now. And I've already spoke with House leadership about the bill. And we're very excited to get it finished and get it introduced.
Guys, I want to show you this because, again, too, this is this type of stuff that has been happening behind the scenes, guys. You cannot make this up. That we have been paying so much money for undocumented citizens, undocumented illegal aliens. Right here, 500,000 undocumented students attend U.S. universities. 2/3 of them receive taxpayer-subsidized tuition. 23 states and D.C. offer full in-state tuition to illegals. 8 additional states offer university assistance to illegals. So I don't know how in the world this is why this makes me so happy of what's coming with this, with our big, beautiful bill, is that all this stuff is happening. And when you talk about college, guys, college is not cheap. At $15,000, $20,000 a year a pop, and you're talking about 1 million people, now you're talking about billions of dollars, guys, that has been used to fund non-citizens and illegals to go to college in America rather than giving it to our own citizens. It's one thing. It's just time and time again, we find out all this stuff that is coming out. And what I get to show you next, guys, is so big because new polls are showing that people are feeling this big, beautiful bill. People want to see all the changes that are coming happen from Trump's big, beautiful bill, where it's actually going to affect the average American worker. That's the biggest thing that changes everything. Because we can talk about it all day, guys, that when it comes to who's benefiting from it, the Democrats are always saying it's going to be the rich. But then when you actually look at the actual bill now that Trump has passed, it's actually Americans. This is going to affect everybody on Social Security, Medicare, those standard deductions, child tax credits, guys. Look at this of where American pride is at. Check this out.
Also good news there, ticking up ahead of this Independence Day. A new Fox poll finds that 58% of Americans are proud of the country today, and that's up 13% from June of last year. I'd like the number to be higher than 58%, but a 13% increase is no joke. David, what do you think? What's driving this increase in patriotism?
Oh, well, I think most recently Iran, the fact that this was an insoluble problem for decades. Suddenly, within 6 months of his taking the office, it became not completely solved. It's not over with them, but really taken care of. I remember 2 cases when this happened, this kind of pride. One was the Morning in America, Ronald Reagan, patriotism became an in thing. And the other was after 9/11, when even in Manhattan, just about every apartment building had an American flag. This is a very, very positive. It contrasts so dramatically with what we're seeing right now with the Democrats just bad-mouthing America, bad-mouthing the economy beginning to get back on its feet again. What a contrast between patriotism and saying this anti-American stuff that's coming out of the Democrats right now.
I couldn't agree more. And it's great to see this increase in patriotism as we head into our 250th year. Absolutely amazing stuff.
Guys, again, the patriotism is growing. Democrats are losing so bad right now, guys. It just blows my mind because what you're about to see next, every single thing that we show you guys, we're bringing the receipts that all the big, beautiful bill that has passed, The average American, independents and GOP and the Republicans are for it, and this is winning. I mean, you can't make this stuff up of how much the Democrats truly hate what is happening with America right now, because it's becoming more patriotic, more MAGA, more America first. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you appreciate the America first policies, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, guys, this is some big stuff.
The nays are 214. The motion is adopted.
Well, it's a big, beautiful win for America. The House sending President Trump's big, beautiful bill to his desk, and he will sign it tomorrow at 5 p.m., just in time to meet his July 4th deadline. And right now, 47 is headed to Iowa to celebrate America's 250th anniversary. Republicans celebrating with a thumbs up, while Democrats were throwing a hissy fit. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries posted a dopey photo of himself with a baseball bat before using the magic minute, wasting 8 hours and 44 minutes grandstanding on the floor to delay the bill, setting a record for saying absolutely nothing. Speaker Mike Johnson, however, taking to the floor after Jeffries struck out with a better use of the magic minute.
You know, Ronald Reagan said one time that no speech should be longer than 20 minutes, and unlike the Democrat leader, I'm going to honor my colleagues' time and be a little more brief than that, all right? You know, it takes a lot longer to build a lie than to tell the simple truth. Too many wins. Are you tired of winning yet?
And here are the Democrats who are tired of all of the winning.
People in this country will die unnecessary deaths. That's unacceptable. That's unconscionable. That's un-American.
This is actually a sad and shameful way to celebrate the 4th of July.
I just can't emphasize how, I'm getting calls, and in the airports, people come up to me when they recognize me, and they're sobbing on my shoulder.
Our children, our children, our children. Let us vote no on this shameful bill and throw a punch for the children.
People are dying, and we're throwing punches for children, according to Democrats.
It amazes me when and how Democrats care about children. And
it is, guys. I just have to say, this stuff kills me inside, because I know there's Democrats are the most hypocritical people right now ever. They want to fund. They always care about the children, but yet they want to fund Planned Parenthood and take children out before they're even born because they're not considered children. All this stuff that we see constantly all the time, it's so hypocritical coming from the Democratic side. And I love that they just got smacked in the face with Trump's big, beautiful bill, and it is happening, baby. Summerman, thank you so much for the super chat. He said, grab your popcorn. The real show is about to begin. I love it. B1 Sly One, thank you so much, brother, for the super chat. Said, let's see those fireworks, Joel. Be safe out there tonight, everybody. Great day. I love it. Amy INFJ, thank you so much for the super chat. Said, thank you, Joel, for donating the proceeds to those in need. And I really enjoy your energy and enthusiasm. Amy, thank you so much for your support. Geo Jim Journeys, thank you for your support. Lisa Young, happy anniversary to you and your husband for your 13th wedding anniversary. Let's go. Stacy Jennings, thank you for upgrading your membership. Guys, show them some love in the chat. We've got we got the best chat out there, guys. We literally have built a family here at TrueLife News. If you're not subscribed, please consider joining our family, hitting that subscribe button, because we want to bust our butt and serve you the best show every single day, guys. So much stuff is going on, but what I love is what you're about to hear next, because good stuff is happening.
Talking about abortion. We've fought this idea of mutilating and castrating children for a couple of years now, and America's shown where they are on it, but now they're worried about children. I will tell you, in this big, beautiful bill, I have no idea how it's going to fare out as far as what it will cost us versus the revenue it'll bring in. That's an ideological fight that Republicans and Democrats have, honestly, and I appreciate that. But I'll tell you one thing about it, one thing nobody's talking about. For 91 years, there's been a $200 tax for guns that have a barrel under 16 inches and for suppressors. And the fact that this bill got through the House and the Senate, removing that tax down to zero, something that no one's been able to do in 100 years, for red-blooded Americans that believe in the Second Amendment, it was a huge win.
So, Paul, there is a lot in this bill. There's a lot that Democrats voted against in this legislation. But whatever you have to say, in the first 6 months of President Trump's second term, he's already codified all of his campaign promises, essentially, in this piece of legislation. And Republicans, miraculously, for the most part, were able to stick together with these very slim margins that we've been talking about since last fall.
Yeah, he herded all of those cats. Look, you got to say at least one thing here, no matter where you stand politically, which is that Donald Trump is doing what he said he was going to do, which is a very rare thing in politics. I mean, let's just say that at the outset. We don't know exactly right. We don't know exactly how it's all going to shake out. But at the end of the day, this is the agenda. And now you'll see. First time around, remember something. You had unemployment down to 3.5%. Today, it's now approaching 4.1, right? So something is working, and we're going to get all this stuff coming in, and we're going to see. Here's who it's definitely a bad day for, though. It's definitely a bad day for freeloaders, because this workfare. Now, this workfare is modeled almost exactly on the Bill Clinton workfare of a number of years ago, and yet they're all apoplectic over it. Shows you how the Democratic Party has changed. Men and women's sports. So the idea that you got a Y chromosome, you're going to go in and dominate the track team, that's over, right? You're not doing that to women. Bad day for illegals. The Walsh funded, ICE is funded. Bad day for Iran and our other adversaries. The military is funded. But here's who it's really a bad day for. It's a bad day for moderate Republicans. And here's why I say, moderate Democrats. If you remember the first term, he had a chance, that is, Trump had a chance to make a deal with Democrats on DACA and the Dreamers. And I'm stealing this point from Dana. The thing is, this time around, Trump had to negotiate with Republicans to get this thing over the finish line. Wouldn't it be better if you're sitting with moderate Democrats, so to come in and say, we'll give you a couple of votes, but we want some sugar? He shouldn't have gone that. If he had gone that way, if they had come to him, they should have gone that way, because they could have had a piece of the victory lap. Instead, they're all on the sidelines.
So, Leslie, someone who else decided to weigh in on this is the former president, Joe Biden, decided to pipe up with a post on X today saying that the Republican budget bill is not only reckless, it's cruel, that it slashes Medicaid and takes away health care from millions of Americans, meaning illegal immigrants. It closes rural hospitals.
Guys, isn't it crazy that Joe Biden says slashing Medicaid by requiring work requirements of working at least 20 hours a week is a big deal? Like, that's the most entitled, just lazy mentality that is not American whatsoever, that the Democrats are trying to say, just because we're trying to say, hey, if you're able-bodied and you are not going to sit at home and live off every other American taxpayer, your butt's going to get up and your butt's going to work.
And cuts food assistance for our veterans and seniors. It jacks up energy bills, etc. You know, Joe Biden campaigned on being a moderate and govern like a far left lunatic, essentially. And a lot of this bill takes back a number of things that he implemented during his term. And Democrats seem like they want to move on from him. And yet he's deciding to weigh in on this after Democrats didn't even decide to come together with the president, maybe work on some things together, given the president's popularity, decided to oppose it.
Yeah, because what my side of the aisle did is they listened to the American people. Only 30% support this bill, 50% don't. The constituencies of Democrats throughout the country, whether they're a House member or for the state in the Senate, don't support this. I'm going to talk about a bad day. Since you talk about a bad day, it's a bad day. It's a bad day. It's a bad day for 3 million children that are food reliant on SNAP. It's a bad day for over 25% of the nursing homes that will close. The people there, where do they go? Those families that need that help and the people that work in those communities. It's a bad day for the rural hospitals that'll close. It's a bad day for the city hospitals and the doctors and the nurses and the other medical staff that will be overburdened by those closures. I could go on and on and on. The reason Democrats didn't vote for this is because it's not good for the American people. And if you don't care about people and health and you only care about money,
Guys, again, I wanted to show you this because, again, I can't go in anymore. When you talk about caring for American people, yet you want to give 1.4 million illegal non-citizens money from Medicare and Medicaid and all that, but you don't want to give an increase to the Americans who actually paid into the system? When you want to let open borders open and you have women and girls that have been raped and lost their lives, and illegals that shouldn't have been here, but they've taken the lives through whatever reason of an American citizen, you have no leg to stand on. You have no right to speak. You just need to shut up, sit down, and let Trump keep putting American first, because for 4 years you showed us where you stood at. You would step over an American to put an illegal first, and you showed us without any remorse. They wouldn't even say the name Laken Riley. So now it's America first way through and through. Let me know your thoughts in the comments if you appreciate this. If you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button. Shelly, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Show Shelly some love in the chat, member of the channel. I love it. Let's go.
There's a new $50 billion fund specifically for rural hospitals, which is how they got it out of the Senate and passed back to the House. Kat?
Well, listen, I'm always talking about deficits, all right? Rand Paul said he had concerns about this yesterday because of that reason. Thomas Massey's made similar comments. I happen to share those concerns. Obviously, I understand that the hope behind this is that the tax cuts would grow the economy and that would offset some of these losses. That requires some optimism. You might have that optimism. You might struggle to find that optimism. You're not alone if you do. I would also say that you're not alone if, excuse my language, you are just feeling so dang disillusioned by the whole system at this point. Because doesn't it seem so difficult to make any kind of real change in the way that things currently are? Because there's these big, massive bills and all this stuff gets thrown in there, and we can't just do things one at a time because everybody wants their piece of this or that.
Yep.
And the word cruel, I do get so irritated with that, because I really think you have to realize, you probably know people in your life who are conservative. Do those people want sick people to die? No. There are maybe some different ways of how to get there, or what these solutions are to the problems that we have. But I will also say that if you are a person who is concerned about spending, then don't let people tell you that doesn't mean you're a compassionate person. Because having these concerns means you're concerned about passing this burden on to future generations. And having that concern is thinking about other people, which is by nature compassionate. And just in general, I think assuming the worst intentions in others doesn't heal anyone.
Yeah, and probably coming with some policy positions rather than accusations of people dying or being cruel is a better bet for the Democrats.
That's the Democrats' always thing. If something happens they don't like, oh, everybody's going to die. Everybody's going to die. Well, guess what? Right here, guys, I want you to see this, because this changes everything with what's about to happen with our nationwide election integrity. Trump's DOJ has launched nationwide election integrity probe. DOJ officials have sent formal inquiries to election offices across the country, investigating voting machines, cybersecurity protocols, and access to voter rolls. Criminal charges for negligent officials are on the table. Listen to this, guys, because this changes everything. Let me know your thoughts in the comments if you appreciate this. If you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, guys, this is big, big stuff.
Since the controversial election result of the COVID mail-in ballot year of 2020, Democrats and the mainstream media told us that the 2020 election was the most secure in American history.
It was the most secure election in American history.
All without proof and a real investigation. They threatened, mocked, and silenced anyone who dared question the system. But now, under President Trump, the Department of Justice is doing exactly what millions of Americans have demanded: investigating our elections. Trump's Department of Justice has launched a nationwide probe into election security. Prosecutors have sent official inquiries to state and local election offices demanding answers about.
Guys, this is big. Look, this is the receipts. This is the actual letter sent that says, we're coming in, we're going to investigate the voter rolls, we're going to investigate all your practices, we're going to audit everything, because guess what? We know there's cheating, we know that you tried to cover it up, and we're coming after everybody. If you appreciate this, guys, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, I just love this, because this is American, protecting our elections.
Voting machines, cybersecurity, and access to voter rolls. Each letter includes over a dozen questions, like who can access your state's voter database, what security measures are in place, and have there been any breaches, and were they reported? Even more significant, the Department of Justice is weighing criminal charges for election officials who fail to meet federal standards. Criminal negligence and prison is now on the table. The irony is rich. For years, the left told us that asking questions about the 2020 election was dangerous to our democracy. And now these very same characters are back at it, criticizing transparency and opposed to this new Department of Justice investigation. They're suddenly panicked. Supporters of this new DOJ investigation into elections say this is a national security issue. If election systems are broken or mismanaged, Americans have a right to know, and those responsible must be held accountable. President Trump's DOJ is making one thing clear: election integrity is a constitutional obligation, and for the first time in years, the government is taking it seriously.
Guys, is that not what we voted for, guys? Promises made, promises kept, that we are officially seeing some of the biggest wins for Americans. Guys, look at this right here. CBS News poll, new national program to deport all undocumented immigrants by registered voters. Guys, this is from CBS, okay? 62% favor. 2/3 of the United States say yes, we need to deport all undocumented migrants. Thank you so much, Mr. Tracy J. Norby, OG of the channel. Let's go. Said, happy 4th of July. Stay safe for our Democrats trying to stay in power. Vote them all out. MAGA. Good to be an American right now. Let's go. Show Mr. Norby some love in the chat. OG of the channel. David Meyer, thank you so much for the super chat. He said, I have white privilege. I get to work 75 hours per week and work 6 weeks before I go home and get 4 days off. Whoop, whoop. Hey, appreciate you, brother. Y'all show David Meyer some love in the chat, as well as Mr. Tracy J. Norby. Guys, things are changing. DEI is getting kicked out. We are putting America first, guys. And when we hear of the boom that's coming with our economy, this is America truly winning, baby. Listen to this.
Guess who's here to talk about it? Who better? Former Speaker of the House, Newt Gingrich, joins me now. 6 months ago in January, Newt, you said this bill needs to be done no later than July 4th. It appears President Trump will get it done. It's been a painful process, but this is another huge win for the president and his promised agenda, right?
Sure, and look, as the president goes tonight to Des Moines, to the Iowa State Fairgrounds to launch the 250th anniversary celebration. Remember, this is the constitutional process. You have to get 100 senators, 435 House members, and the president to get something done. It is sloppy, slow, frustrating, and it's called freedom because it protects us from any dictatorship. So the president will win today. I think the country will win today. Mike Johnson has done an amazing job. John Thune, as Senate leader, did an amazing job. I was more concerned that the Senate could move fast enough, and he got it done. I knew that once they got to the House, that Speaker Johnson and President Trump would ultimately find the votes. It took them probably a day longer than they hoped. But in a few minutes, we're going to see the biggest single domestic policy change of the Trump administration will be passed into law.
Well, the fear-mongering on the other side, Newt, I mean, we know it, we expect it, but, you know, I was just writing down some of the comments. Less safe, less healthy, more debt-ridden. It's a deal with the devil. It's cruel, ugly, nasty, and immoral. Your comments on that?
Well, look, I think the Democrats are trapped. They have a whole bunch of policies they inherited from Biden, which they can't sustain. They have a new face, the Democratic Party, emerging in New York with Mamdani. They are in a situation where they have no solutions. They have no answers. Their social values are like in 15 to 20% of Americans in favor of them. Interestingly, since the election, there's been 1,300,000 people switch from Democrat to Republican in registration around the country.
Wow.
Every single state.
Guy, did you hear that? Since the election, 1.3 million people have switched their registration for what they represent in their political status from Democrat to Republican. Baby, I'm ready for a red wave coming. 2026, baby, you know we're going to be here for it, guys, but this is going to be massive.
Moving towards the Republicans. So what do? They put up Hakeem Jeffries to pretend he's a senator. He gives what will be one of maybe the second or third longest speech in House history. And he just says a whole series of lies. I mean, it takes a long time to lie. You can tell the truth pretty quickly.
Do you ever remember a president being this heavily involved in getting a bill passed? I mean, it was remarkable.
Well, I think other presidents have been involved, but I think that the amazing thing about President Trump is he can be doing Iran, going to NATO, dealing with the Supreme Court, all simultaneously while also shepherding this bill. And people need to understand, this is a huge bill. Yeah. This bill fundamentally shifts towards a lower tax, more aggressive, more entrepreneurial America. It takes a lot of regulations out, and it's, I think, going to launch what by next summer we'll be calling the Trump boom, because the combination of all of his economic policies are going to lead to huge economic growth.
It's all about growth indeed. New Gingrich.
Guys, I love it. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button. Guys, if you're not subscribed, please consider joining our family and hitting that subscribe button. Joining and helping us, guys. We are bringing the truth. We're showing you all the facts, all the receipts. So much is changing, and we are winning every single day with this new patriotic America First president, guys. I want to say thank you to all of our viewers, to all of our subscribers, guys. We are so grateful that you are supporting us as we continue to grow this family and our giving. Remember, when you're a member or you give a super chat donation, we donate this money live on stream to a local charity every single month. On the 22nd of every single month, this guy is donating thousands of dollars. When we partner with you guys, and we use this channel not just for bringing the truth, but we want to bring change. That's what's important, guys. I want to give some special love to Mr. Tracy J. Norby, OG of the channel, David Meyer, Leigh Lewis, for gifting 5 TrueLife News memberships, Sandra Mario Wenzi, Gregosaurus, Stacy Jennings, Tijuana Border Jumper, Lisa Young, April Green, Crypto King Freddy, Andy, What's New for gifting 10 TrueLife News memberships. Summerman, thank you so much, brother. Romans 8:28, and we know. Mr. Burns, Lily Ignacio, Deborah Jacobs, Iyukika, YN1, Summerman, B1 Sly 1, Amy INFJ, Geo Jim Jernings, Shelly, David Meyer. Guys, thank you so much for your support. Show them some love in the chat. Thank you so much for liking our videos, sharing our videos. Guys, it's a beautiful day. So much is changing. America is being pushed forward, and we are living it out. And we always want to put America first. And thank you from the bottom of our hearts that you support us. We love you, appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.